Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about obsessive-compulsive disorder. Obsessive-compulsive disorder is the fourth most common psychiatric disorder. It characterized by sudden recurring thoughts and impressions that make you do a certain thing, a certain action that rules over your entire life. It is the most underdiagnosed and undertreated disorder in the world. Many people try to diagnose themselves and say that they have their own type of OCD, when in fact it's just one or two things that bother them, when in actual reality OCD is something that completely governs your entire life. The origin of OCD is actually, in the 15th century, there were some doctors, as they called them, that would do tests on people for having demons that would make them act a certain way. But that was the earliest documented examples of it. OCD is seen today as one of the most prime examples of a neuropsychiatric disorder. Popular examples include constantly washing your hands, you're afraid of dirt, afraid of germs, touching others. You might sort things by various sizes, colors, alphabetically, any way that you position things around your house that it has to be, if anyone touches it, that it may affect you in a negative way. To diagnose OCD, many doctors, they don't have to do any invasive tests or anything like that. They can just ask you simple questions about how you live your life and every day. On average, it's usually documented that people from 22 to 35 years old have OCD. Those are the ages. Less than 15% are over 35 because they either seek out treatment and get the proper treatment that is for them, or they end up getting over it by themselves in some way. Possible treatments include cognitive therapy, behavioral therapy. They have antidepressant medications, severe anxiety drugs, and many other just treatments that doctors can prescribe. Some very interesting cases that I've run across myself. There's a 33-year-old woman who would be so obsessed with washing her hands that she would actually, for 2 to 6 hours a day, be washing her hands. She would rub her skin and just constantly be washing. She would triple check everything before she left, make sure the stove's off, garage is closed, doors shut. And I mean, it would end up holding her back for up to an hour, make her late for everything. It ended up governing her life. For her condition, she thought it was just normal for the first 9 years that she had it, and it took her another 8 years, in fact, to receive proper treatment. So for 17 years, she lived with OCD, unaware of her condition. Another younger subject to OCD was a girl named Maria. She actually was very obsessed with how dirty she felt the entire time, like all the time. She'd shower for up to 2 hours a day, scrubbing her skin raw, washing her. Her skin was completely white because she washed herself so much. One of the more peculiar symptoms of her disorder was she would end up in the middle of the night feel a compulsion to have to get out of bed and she'd have to get out of bed, make her bed, undo the covers and get back in so she'd go back to sleep. This would happen up to 6 to 7 times a night. So for up to 7 times a night, she'd have to wake up. And she'd wake up the next day feeling awful, and every day it would get worse, and she'd feel more depression, more anxiety, more exhaustion. She received treatment 9 years after as well for her disease, but her treatment would help at times and make it worse at times. It depends. One thing about OCD is it gets worse with stress or depression, and the more you think about it, the more it gets bad, and it can really affect your life in a negative way. There's another 20-year-old, I believe this was a female as well, that she couldn't do anything with the number 4. She constantly was bothered by the number 4. She couldn't eat 4 of anything. She couldn't do anything with multiples of 4. She couldn't drive a car because it had 4 wheels. Anything with 4 she just had to avoid. She wouldn't read the fourth page of magazines or books. Her OCD actually got worse and never subsided. She ended up not even being able to do things with multiples of 4, a large number with the number 4 in it. She couldn't do anything that actually had to do with that number. Her OCD never subsided, and it ended up ruling over her life, and she went crazy for it. OCD can really affect people's lives in a negative way. Since it is a neuropsychiatric disorder, there's a lot to know about brains, and doctors still don't know as much as they would like to about the brain, so there's still a lot to discover about OCD in general. Many things about doctors, they just believe it's a chemical imbalances in the brain to where they don't know how to treat it, so the best way they can is by therapy. The preferred treatment is cognitive therapy and behavioral therapy. OCD really interested me, and made me want to give these remarks because OCD can affect many people, and no two cases are exactly alike. In fact, that everyone can be bothered by their own degree, but it's really only the certain ones that it really takes over their life and harms them in a way that they can't. Thank you.